Smarterfan. Smarterfan. Yeah. Smarterfan.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another segment of Smarterfan Podcast, where we bring you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe, and this is Barry. What's going on, Barry?
Hey, we're cooking. It's cold. It's in New York.
Mm-hmm.
It was cold at 3 o'clock, and then it warmed up to about 70 degrees at 9 o'clock. Who can make sense of this stuff? I can't. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
It's crazy, just crazy.
It's all good, though. No complaints.
Yeah, so, we had a good Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving saw the Packers stun the Lions. I mean, that was nobody saw that coming, and the Niners, they just rolled over the Hawks, and the Dolphins,
Who's the Hawks?
The Seahawks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the Dolphins, they just beat the hapless Jets, on Black Friday, and this could only happen to the Jets. They throw a Hail Mary and it gets returned for a 99-yard pick six.
Jeez. Are you kidding me?
This only happens to the Jets.
Unbelievable.
And the Falcons, they basically backed into first place with a 5-6 record in the NFC South.
Wow, that's scary.
Yeah, that's a horrible division. Everybody in that division is just horrible.
Wow.
The Steelers fired their OC last week, and they came out with a win over the Bengals. So hey, something to that.
Yeah, because they haven't had anything happening in the backfield. They not gotten. I don't even know if Najee Harris is there anymore.
Yeah,
it came out of Alabama. I was like, what's going on with the offense over in Pittsburgh? It's
yeah, and the quarterback position there isn't the greatest either. Tomlin just is working with what he got.
Yeah, great coach.
So and the Giants were playing hot potato with the Patriots because they just kept giving each other the ball back. And then they finally mustered enough offense to win the game with a field goal, but and it was a wild one in Philly between the turnovers, the missed field goals, the blocked field goals, and a 59-yard field goal to tie the game, before the Eagles won it in overtime.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And Peyton seems to have gotten Denver turned around. They seem to be on a little roll. They reeled off 5 in a row.
That's impressive.
They scored 29 against the Browns defense, so they're doing something right. And it's I think Peyton got Russell back to basics, where he's scrambling, he's moving the pocket, and he's making things happen, because he wasn't doing that before,
No.
So he seemed to got him back in sync, Now this kid CJ Stroud, they're talking MVP with this kid,
if he keeps doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he's possibly rookie of the year. He's the highest drafted QB in Buckeyes history. At number 2, and he's only the second first-year player to record 800 passing yards in 2 consecutive starts. Besides Cam Newton. So he Jim Brown is the only rookie to ever win an MVP.
Wow. There you go again. 10-0.
And yeah, that's it's amazing. It's really amazing. and Dan Marino was the last rookie quarterback to be a candidate for the MVP.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
They're,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and this kid, he's got a rookie coach, rookie OC, but they're doing a lot more than people expected of the Texans this year.
Yeah, I think it comes back to coach and OC who know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Secret, right? And who can connect with the players and don't try to be something that they're not.
Yeah. No. No.
And
Yeah.
and for the front office to leave them alone. Just leave them alone.
Yeah. That's the big thing.
With it.
you know.
Stop tinkering with it.
Yeah. So the other thing was the Washington Commanders are considering another name change. Uh, Josh Harris, he's looking to make a fresh start. Wipe the slate clean.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of the Dan Snyder debacle. And so they're going to explore that at the end of this season. Now, I like the Red Tails, but I read somewhere where the some of the Tuskegee Airmen, the ones that are still surviving,
Mm-hmm.
they have mixed feelings about that because they don't think that Washington is worthy of the name. I guess.
I think people are losing their focus.
Mm,
Like, I think that, in my humble opinion, I wish they would go back to the Redskins.
mm,
I don't think it's a derogatory um, name, um, in the sense that not all tribes were Redskins. Some were very, very dark. Some were
mm,
very, very light. Some
mm.
were more of a red hue. Um, I just, you have baseball teams that are still called the Indians.
Yeah.
That's not the people's real name. I just, I just, I mean, I have Native American people in my family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't find it offensive,
Yeah.
and I mean, I don't know.
Well. So that's my little piece on the Washington Commanders. What's on your mind?
Oh, I got a whole lot on my mind. Oh, I got a whole lot. What? Oh, I want to talk about all of this brouhaha. Oh my goodness, the comments I'm hearing about Colorado, Coach Prime, this. I mean, I've never met. Oh, what are they? 4-7? What they ended 4-7? Something
Something
like
like
that,
that. Yeah.
right? Joe, I don't hear nothing about Alabama, LSU, Michigan, Georgia. I don't hear nothing. I mean, you couldn't leave the guy alone during the regular season. The season's over. You hate him. Da da da. Why are you still talking, speculating? It's just ridiculous. But you know what I
Mm.
love about it, and I hope they don't stop. It shows
Uh-huh.
how relevant Coach Prime is, and they're scared in their boots. They don't know what to make of it. I had to say to somebody, I said, um, sold out the spring game, sold out all regular season games,
Mm-hmm.
sold out games against their opponents because people wanted to see. It was such a good show,
Right.
right? Had me staying up, Joe, at 12 o'clock at night to catch a game, one of the games, the late games, 12 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
Joe, right? And because it was just so exciting, and a breath of fresh air, made a ton of money. I mean, what other school had every sports platform at their game? None other
Mm.
than Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
None other than Colorado. So I'm listening to all these people talking all this yang, and this is like, Y'all don't get it. It's a new day. I know y'all don't like it, but it's a new day. And it ain't never going back. It ain't never
Yeah.
going back. And you think this year was a problem. Oh, you're gonna have a lot. Oh, you're gonna have a lot. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm just excited. I'm excited. People are shaking in their boots. So that's one of the big things I wanted to talk about. But I didn't want to hog the whole platform. Let me throw the ball back to you.
All right. Well, in the next month, we're going to be having the NHL Winter Classic, you
Mm,
know, and the Winter Classic, it's played annually on or around New Year's Day, and it's generally held in a football or a baseball stadium, in
mm,
an area with a resident NHL team. Uh, it started in 2008, and the first one was held at Ralph Wilson Stadium in Orchard Park between the Sabres and the Penguins, you know, and it's been a league tradition ever since, you know. And the Red Wings and the Maple Leafs, they set an attendance record in 2014 with 105,491 people,
mm.
in attendance. So, and the Maple Leafs, they were the only Canadian team that participated in the Classic, you know, as the first
Mm-hmm.
5 games were American teams, and all the games are played in the U.S. And also in 2014, the Sports Business Journal named the Winter Classic its sports event of the year. So,
Okay, okay, okay. What else
you
you
know,
got going on? What else you got?
the games, the venues are, pretty good. The venues have been in various places like Wrigley Field, Citizens Bank Park, Heinz Field, Nationals Field, Gillette Stadium, and even the Cotton Bowl.
Okay, okay.
So, with last year's event they played last year's event at Fenway Park, between the Bruins and the Penguins. And this year's event's going to be being it's going to be played at T-Mobile T-Mobile Park in Seattle between the Kraken and the Golden Knights. And this is going to be the
Mm,
first classic in the Pacific time zone, you
okay.
know. But they said that they're going to probably close the roof because they get because of the possibility of heavy rain. So
Yeah.
it'll be the second one played indoors in a park, though. Yeah.
Listen, I want to talk about recruiting, and I want to help
Hmm.
people, parents and teens, understand the business of recruiting.
Hmm.
And I'm going to take it up in parts. If you're thinking about playing collegiate athletics with Hope Collegiate Athletics, you need to understand two or three basic things. Where is it that you ultimately want to go? And what do you want to get out of the game? You need to understand it is a business. It's a business. You're
Hmm.
recruited, and probably 6 or 7 other people are being recruited for your same position. You're entering into a competitive situation. Okay. And that
Hmm.
means you need to find out where's the best fit for you. Where do you, and understand this is probably going to be the fastest 4 years, 5 years of your life.
Hmm.
Most of the things you're not going to be able to control. You're probably not going to have the same coach you started with.
That's a fact.
It's just that important for these kids to understand and their parents to understand, where am I going? Is this a good fit? Does this scheme fit where I'm going to be? And above all, as I shared with somebody, you want to increase your value, be able to do more than one thing. Person said to me, "What do you mean?" I said, Coach Prime is a prime example. He could do three things on a football field. He said, "What?" He could play corner, he could play receiver, and he could return. I don't care what position your child plays. He needs to be able to develop another skill besides the basic one he has.
Hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always a big proponent that kids should not. I'm For me, I don't think kids should play contact football until their bodies are a little bit more mature. Like when I see 6, 7, 8 year olds, you know,
Mm.
I just think it's too much to put on a kid's body at a certain age, at such a young age. Because I believe, and I've seen it, that you can get, your body can get to a point where it just is said to you, it's enough. I can't do it anymore. I don't want
Yeah.
to do it anymore. And so, I always encourage parents who ask me, let your kids play every sport, swim, do every sport. It will help
Mm.
them in whatever sport they plan to major in, right? That's part of it. And I have a very good friend of mine, Dr. Pat Ivy, who's got a book that I recommend to all parents and all kids. It's called The Table, and the author is
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Pat Ivy. Strength and conditioning coach for 25 years. He's won major awards. Many of the people that he's coached in strength and conditioning have gone on to win awards. And he really gives a behind the veil perspective of what athletes and parents need to be aware of and prepare themselves to understand how to leverage their collegiate career wherever they plan to take it. But the idea, and it's, I try to tell, you're going to have to grow up fast, really fast. And you're going to have to, the most powerful thing you could do playing on the collegiate level is understand what they're expecting and just be very clear. Be very clear. What do you need from me? You know, and work your butt off. Know what you're supposed to do. Know your assignments. Play at a high level. Be disciplined. Be coachable. If you do that consistently and be consistently the best you can be, you're gonna have a great collegiate career. But if you get stuck in a bad attitude and get stuck, well, I'm not playing, and the attitude I tell kids, because I coach too, is
Mm.
that the best thing you could do is, if you're not playing as much as you want, simply ask your coach, Coach, I want to play more. What do I need to do to play more? And go do it.
Yeah.
Make it so that even if he puts you in once, you you do such a great job of executing what you're supposed to execute, it actually hurts the team for them not to play you.
Yeah.
Kid came back to me and said, Coach, I did what you said and I got more playing time. I said, yeah, because they realize when he's in the game, good things happen. When we take him out the game, not so many great things happen. So what do you think they're going to do? Put you
Yeah.
in the game.
Yeah. Well, what does Belichick always say? Do your job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, just a little tidbit for, the kids thinking about collegiate, playing collegiate, you know, understand you're in a business, understand you need to
Mm.
mature, understand because it goes real quick. I'm sure the Kermani McLean, the kid at Colorado, is probably sitting
Hmm.
in his dorm room going, I can't believe my freshman season is already over. It
Mm.
seems so long in high school to get to college. Now
Right.
I'm here and I've already finished my first year. I only
Yeah.
got 3 more. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that's how it goes very quickly. So you got to
Yeah.
maximize the moment while you have the opportunity. So back to you, my friend.
Okay. I want to talk about Angel Reese and her absence. I mean,
Okay.
she hasn't played. She hasn't been around since she was benched against Kent State.
Mm-hmm.
And the coach has been very tight-lipped about the whole situation. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing she would say is that it's a locker room, it's a locker room situation, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So she's missed the last 4 games, and she didn't even travel with the team this past week for the 2 game set against Niagara and Virginia at the Cayman Island Classic.
Okay.
You know, along with guard Kateri Poole. She was MIA also.
Okay.
Um,
Mhm.
but in their absence, Anissa Morrow stepped up.
Mhm.
She took up the slack. She had a double-double against Niagara, and she dropped 37
Mm.
and 16 rebounds against Virginia.
Mm. That girl
So,
did work.
yeah, the girl was balling. And so Reese is scheduled to return against Virginia Tech.
Mhm.
So, got to see, the way they're playing right now. Now, do you think her coming back is going to upset that chemistry, or is it going to enhance it?
My personal opinion,
Yeah.
I think it enhances it. I think this is what you want to do at this part of the season because you want to find out what your other players can do because you never know what's going to happen down the stretch. You never know
Mm-hmm.
if somebody's going to get hurt. You never know. So
Right. Yeah.
let's find out because after last year, she's got a bunch of number ones. She's like the
Mm-hmm.
Lakers of the 80s.
Yeah.
Basically two starting teams. And that's probably one of the most challenging coaching situations to be in because
Yeah.
everybody's basically a number one or would be on a number one in another team. And
Right.
so
Yeah.
people got to, take a back seat, submerge their egos. And she's got to keep the bigger goal in mind in front of them. Like,
Mm.
hey, it may be, I may have to pull you, Angel, or I may have to pull you, Floje, or you know what I mean. And so, if everybody can get on that page, that hey, we're
Mm.
going to do whatever we have to do to win,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they're going to be a problem because
Mm.
what that means is it's going to be a lot tougher for other people to scout against you because they don't know what lineup they're going to get.
Yeah. Well, they know everybody can step up now. That's for sure.
Well, let's understand what this means. So you go into the tournament time, you go through the season, they can put they can switch up quarter by quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Not every team. You know how hard that is to defend.
Oh yeah.
So all
Yeah.
of a sudden they're killing you from the outside. The next quarter they're killing you from the inside. The third quarter they're killing you from the inside and the outside. And the fourth quarter they just lock you down in defense. Then you're
Yeah.
looking as the next team they play, and you figure they're going to come out with that, and they can change the chess pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the benefit of having number ones and number twos. But you have to be like Pat Riley and ride that iron horse so
Mm.
that everybody stays in their lane. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a tough job, but if you can get everybody to buy in, my money is. I told you last year, my money is on these girls
Mm-hmm.
doing what has not been yet done is a three-peat. I don't
Mm.
think any college basketball team female has done a three-peat, and they have a chance to pull it off.
Mm.
And so what you're
Oh.
seeing is the genesis of that. My humble opinion.
Well, we'll see. You know.
We'll see. It's going to be exciting. I already got my LSU ladies basketball hoodie in purple and gold. I'm ready, Joe. I'm ready.
I know you are.
I'm ready for the season. But I
All
got
right.
one more thing if we have time.
Mm-hmm.
My other thing is I want to have on the back of what I talked about recruiting is kind of this whole thing with Joe Smith and players. And I'm going to talk more about it because I was at the Coach Gustus event at
Mm-hmm.
the Barclays Center last week. I did the Smarterfan podcast. Don't worry, fans. We're going to have some wonderful interviews. You're going to be able to participate. I had some NBA players I talked to. And,
Mm.
one of the NBA players who now has been a coach in a high school for 10 years is also a physics teacher. He
Mm-hmm.
said something very interesting to me. He said,
Mm.
Barry, you know why a lot of us lose that money? Is because we get to the league, we're young, we got money, and we think we're Superman.
Yep.
I said, wow,
Yep.
that's really insightful. He says, man, if I had just understood, and I had people come up to me and say, hey, man, hey, and you can buy up a couple of these brownstones in Harlem for little or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit on them, until you're ready. but you got him. And he said, Barry, I blew so much money. I don't even know what I blew my money on. He says, I know guys who, bought cars and they tricked them out, and you can't
Mm-hmm.
sell that thing after you trick it out, or they
Nope.
spent $35,000 on a sound system and never ended up using it.
Yeah.
Just blowing money and not understanding you got this window and you got to make this money last. You got to make this money grow. And I said, man, it's just wow. It's just he said you feel like you're Superman. And he says, I've had a long career. I played in the NBA. I played over in Europe. Da da da
Yeah.
da. I have some great experiences. You know, but I just try to tell the players that I'm coaching now, hey, be smart with your money. Don't
Yeah.
don't throw your money away on frivolous cars, and save your money. And so that when you basically mature, because he says it got real the older I got.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yes.
got real
Yeah.
because it's like, hey, this kid's younger than me. They get more mileage out of him, so why should I pay you the big money? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
you know
Exactly.
so he says that it's that Superman syndrome, but you don't realize you're not going to be 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 forever,
Nope.
and you got to figure out how to maximize that window so you have a great back end to your window. And then your roles change, Barry. He says a lot of guys don't understand that your role is going to change,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that takes a lot of guys out too, because maybe in high school, maybe in college, they were the scorer, but you're in the NBA, the team may not need you to do that. Can you adjust?
Right.
I
Yeah.
may need you just for 6 minutes to give me these boards, or I need these rebounds, or I just need 8 points tonight. Can you give me seven?
Mm.
Can you give me 7 minutes and 8 points tonight? Can
Yeah.
you do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of guys can't make that adjustment, and they end up not having the long careers that they should have had. So I just want to say, we're going to come back on Smarter Fan Podcast. It was a great show. Coach Gustus, we're going to have
Mm.
Coach on here. They did a wonderful celebration and honoring him
Mm-hmm.
with ESPN. So I'm going to bring that and the interviews and the other high school players that were there, and different other people we interviewed. It was a great, great time. So as always, you see, Joe, you got me working on the weekends too, Joe. You got me working on the weekends, Joe. Come on, man. We had a good time. We had a good time.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. So at the
You know.
Barclays, the NIT, it was great. And so
Mm.
we're just going to keep bringing more and more of those things to you, our Smarter Fan family. So that's all I got
Yeah.
for you tonight, buddy.
Ah, you said a mouthful.
Well, what can I say? Smarter Fan Podcast, always bringing you what's new and innovative behind the scenes. And trust me, we've got a couple ladies lined up who are going to talk about being collegiate athletes and those
Mm.
challenges of being a collegiate female athlete. So we got some exciting things for 2023, 2024. So stay
Mm.
with us, share, like, subscribe, because it just gets better and better on Smarter Fan Podcast. See you next week.
Right.
Smarterfan.